Social media is abuzz following a Reuters news report released earlier this week, in which it was claimed that white South Africans are returning to South Africa because they supposedly view life in South Africa as much better than life abroad. The idea, of course, is to make the White House's refugee plan for Afrikaners appear ridiculous. The reality, however, is something completely different. Had it not been for BEE and racial violence, there would be at least 1.5 million more white people in South Africa today than there are now. And this is a conservative estimate. In fact, when taking into account the number of people who already left and the number who had been killed, the demographic impact on South Africa's white population resulting from the political marginalization of Afrikaners has been devastating. This week, Reuters ran a story on white South Africans who had lived abroad for many years, returning home to South Africa. The brief report, which follows the story of 3 returning expats, highlights that the high quality of Afrikaans schools in South Africa and the affordable healthcare are the main reasons for returning to South Africa. The idea behind the whole narrative is to supposedly debunk the White House's claims that there is a white genocide occurring in South Africa and to present the audience with the idea that things in South Africa are not nearly as bad as they are made out to be by the White House. Yet, this is a highly incomplete picture. In fact, Reuters paints a completely distorted picture for most of it. The reality is that thousands of Afrikaners and all other white South Africans are indeed currently fleeing the country because of the threat of violence and economic despair in which they find themselves. And the fact that some expats found jobs in South Africa and are privileged enough to indeed return in no way disproves this fact. Stay tuned, because today we will be providing you with a full 360-degree view of all the dynamics involved in the white migration patterns in and out of modern day South Africa. In 1991, when apartheid ended and it became clear that the ANC was about to take over the country, there were 5.6 million white people in South Africa, constituting well over 13% of the population. Today, there are only 4.5 million white people in South Africa, constituting just 7% of the total. There are several factors which contribute to this drastic decline. Firstly, as is the case with all Western nations, the fertility rate among Afrikaners and Anglo-South Africans declined greatly over the past few generations. In fact, this demographic problem for European nations is so significant that despite the fact that the white South African population declined by over 1 million people over the past 3.5 decades, there are at least 6 European nations where the total population decline has been proportionally greater than Afrikaners in South Africa since the start of the 90s, including Moldova, Latvia, Ukraine, Bosnia and Herzegovina, as well as Bulgaria and Lithuania. Like in these countries, in South Africa, it is not only the decline in fertility that is a major driver of population decline, but also gross immigration to greener pastures, which is perhaps the most significant contributor. According to a recent study by Suryamurthy Maestri from the University of KwaZulu-Natal School of Education, just over 1 million white South Africans have immigrated from South Africa since 1994. Mostly to the United States, as well as Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and of course the Netherlands. Now, this process is further intensified by the rise in the number of refugees leaving for the United States, meaning that if nothing changes, we can expect an uptick in the number of white South Africans emigrating from the country over the next 2 or 3 years. But the million white South Africans who have left the country is not the full story. In fact, there are even white Europeans moving into South Africa by the tens of thousands. In fact, between 2011 and 2020, the number of European-born immigrants in South Africa increased by 10% to 250,000 people, most of whom opt to settle in the quieter, white majority areas in the Western Cape. This means that roughly 6% of the current white population in South Africa are first-generation immigrants from Europe. Moreover, as the Reuters report points out, around 25% of white South Africans who immigrate eventually return to South Africa, which means that around 250,000 of the million whites who have immigrated have ended up returning to South Africa already. But the real story here lies deeper than these figures. It lies in the phenomenon of white flight that is prevalent among even those who do return to South Africa. You see, South Africa is actually one of the largest countries on the planet, roughly the size of Germany, France and Spain combined. There are many places in this country, like Stilbaai and Jongensfontein, where crime is virtually non-existent and where white people actually still constitute the vast majority of the population. And then, of course, there are places like the rural Northwest and Limpopo, where hundreds of farmers have been murdered already. Yet, despite this discrepancy, there are many places one can flee to within the country itself, where one could be relatively safe from racial violence if one flees to these areas. This is very much like America, where you can live in a place like Overland Park in Kansas, and chances are that you will never see any form of violent crime in your entire lifetime. All the while, other places like Baltimore and Detroit are crime-ridden hellholes where violence is rampant every single day. Just because there are still safe places within South Africa does not in any way mean that there is not a pandemic of racially motivated violence going on. And the reality is that many of the people returning from abroad do not end up settling in these same dangerous areas or provinces they once fled from. They may officially return to South Africa, but they don't go live in places where they are and their loved ones are or were once attacked. In many cases, these people who lived abroad, often for 10 years or longer, saved in dollars or pounds and returned to South Africa with far more wealth than they had when leaving, enabling them to relocate to safer, more expensive towns. Alternatively, they might live in the same city they came from, but now they have the money to afford living in a upper middle class gated community with 24-hour security. In fact, all the latest trends point to the fact that Afrikaners, both those returning from abroad as well as those who have remained here, are all along now migrating to safe enclaves in South Africa. Most of them go to the northeast of Gauteng as well as the Garden Route area of the Western Cape. These are all factors that the Reuters report of this week completely overlooked, and by failing to take this into account, they have sadly presented a picture that is worlds apart from the reality that is really going on. Nothing in their report debunks any of the claims by Donald Trump and the White House or others that have made with regards to the oppression or persecution of white people in South Africa. There are still nearly 800,000 white South Africans who had left the country and who have not returned. And the reason for this is the racial violence and unjust racial discrimination that white people in this country faced. Many of the people who left were not able to find jobs in South Africa, or at least not jobs according to their own qualification levels. As we pointed out earlier in this video, the white population in this country has declined by around 1.1 million people since the early 90s. And this is nearly 80% due to immigration. Moreover, one of the common reasons white South Africans provide for not having more children is precisely because they argue that under the current political dispensation, they see no future for their children in this country. Given the amount of Europeans now settling the Western Cape, the decline in birth rates due to the lack of hope, the thousands of people who have actually been murdered, and the hundreds of thousands who have already left and not returned, it would be safe to say that had it not been for the ANC, BEE, and the high rates of extreme violence in this country, the white population in South Africa would have been closer to 6 million as opposed to 4.5 million today. The story of white South African migration is not simply a straightforward story of people leaving and returning. It forms part of a far more complex demographic restructuring in which hundreds of thousands have fled the country entirely, many who return or relocate internally to safer enclaves, and others which is actually the vast majority, who remain or continue to demographically consolidate in regions where they believe their families can live with a greater degree of security. The hard reality is, though, that the ANC's tyranny towards the minority of white people in this country has effectively reduced its potential population by 25%. And in such a scenario, we would still be over 10% of the total population of this country, for interest's sake. In a recent video, we specifically highlighted the phenomenon of white flight within South Africa and explained how this is radically reshaping the South African demographic landscape. Check out that full report by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right now. And do consider supporting our work by becoming a paying member of the Willem Petzer Group. Simply follow the easy steps below to invest in us to make sure that we can go on making videos like these every single day. Goodbye. And God bless.